Hi everyone, it's Paris here from Mount Eliza. How is everyone today? It is Tuesday the 27th of April 2001 and I had a couple of minutes and I thought I'd say hi to my friends, whoever I've got left as friends, and go through a few things that have been happening lately in my life this month. I'm a bit blurry on my screen, so let me know if I'm blurry there. I'll just wait a few moments for even one person to come on board. And this year's been a very interesting year, but I've got a few things for people out there, for my leader friends out there, that I'd like to share with you. And if you want to listen and take on board and consider, you can feel free to do so. Better get my glasses out too. So how's everyone? It's quite sunny today in Melbourne. The sun's come out, I think it came out after around 11. It's quite a nice day. And I've just brought my glasses out. And I'll just wait a few moments for anyone to get on, because I know it's a strange time. 3 o'clock, it's school time. But I'm not fussed about people getting on live. My focus is on trying to get some... Nice to see you, Belinda. How are you? I'm not very good, Belinda. I haven't been great this month, but I'll get into that briefly today. Today I want to share with you a lot of things that I've been doing and what I've been up to. And I'm just waiting a few moments for you guys to get on. I won't wait that long. I'll just make a note here because I haven't done any notes of what I was going to go through. So, hello everyone. When you watch me after the live or whatever, I've got my friend today with me. You see, the past 6 months, I reckon my whole life, people have said, you know, Paris needs to get a brain, needs to get another brain because of the things that I discuss and do and talk about in my life. And like I said to you a few weeks ago, I've got my new brain here. Thank you for manifesting, to all those losers out there. Thank you for manifesting that I do get a new brain. I've got my new brain here, which means I'm going to be thinking even more clearer and smarter than a lot of you out there who all you do is negative and ripping off people and lying to people. So no excuse now. I've got my second brain with all the information required of what every part of the brain does. And so there's no excuse for me to be saying and doing things that I shouldn't be doing, right? So those of you out there who think that perhaps I needed a second brain, perhaps you need one too. So we can start thinking clearer, right? And sharing the love and the high vibrations. So I've got my second brain here. So I'll just put him back here because he is porcelain and I don't want anyone, my brain breaking. Now, so I'm going to just make a note of what I talk about so I don't forget about a few things. I always say I'm going to be quick, but you know how quick my stuff is. Now, I'm just going to go through a few things. I keep a tray here. I've got a green, a filing tray of things that I put in. So every time I need to talk to you guys, I can go through them. Now, so I'm going to be very ad hoc. Where have I been, right? I've had a most traumatic, tragic March. It's actually been a tragic, traumatic year for me from the start of the year when we lost Bo, our lorikeet, and a few other birds. But March has been extra traumatic and tragic. I really don't want to talk about it. I know a few of you have reached out via private messages and have wanted to call me or me call you or asking me how I am. I can't even reply to that because I've been quite traumatized. So thank you for asking your concern. When I'm ready to talk about it, I will. Thank you. Now I'll just put this on low volume. Now the other thing is also, last year, because Victoria was in lockdown and I'm in Victoria, right, in Melbourne, normally what happens is I deal with a lot of third parties. That's why I don't care to socialise and the rest of it, excuse me, because I deal with a lot of people every single day, right? Every day, practically every day. And since moving to this property here, which was trashed, Philip and I, the past 8 years, we've had to get off our asses and do a lot of physical work, deal with tradespeople, whatever. They don't do the jobs, ripping us off, constant ripping off. So it's a lot of work. So last year, I didn't have third people I was dealing with. All I had was parrots, Philip, myself, and I had time to do the lives every day. I was pretty much doing them every day from July. I had time. But now what's happened is from Christmas, and especially after February, because, they needed a break, the tradies, from not doing anything all year last year. So from February, I've got a lot of workmen constantly here that I'm dealing with and stuffing me up, flooding my laundries and doing the rest of it, right? So this is why I also didn't have the time to have quick chats with you and to say hi. And many times, sorry, my nose a bit itchy, and many times I wanted just to get the phone and just say hi, but you know, my phone was crashing when I was outside. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So this is why I haven't had time. You see, I'm not in a situation where a lot of these online influencers are, where they're getting your money, your donations, or getting paid from political parties to say the shit that they're doing. I'm not in that situation. It's just me. Only me. Just me. I do everything. Right? I do most stuff. I won't say everything because Philip's going to go down my throat. So this is why I haven't had the time to do a lot of things, because I've had to get back to a non-lockdown time. Right, so it's not that I don't think of you guys, because if any of you have telepathy, you'll know that I'm talking to you guys all the time. Now, photosynthesis is a special word that you need to know. Photosynthesis. I may repeat a few things I've said, but it's important, right? Carbon dioxide, you know, we breathe in oxygen and out carbon dioxide, is a gas. I'm not going to do the whole political things like I used to do before. This is different. Is a gas consisting blah, blah, blah. It is one of the most important gases on the earth because plants use it to produce carbohydrates in a process called photosynthesis. So, friends, plants and trees and nature needs carbon dioxide. They need us farting. They need the cows farting, whatever. If that's what produces the carbon dioxide, it's a joke, really. I'm just trying to make you laugh, right? Since humans and animals depend on plants for food, photosynthesis is necessary for the survival of life. So without carbon dioxide, we can't live. So maybe if we can get that message out to those out there who are either smoking, doping, or drinking a bit too much, don't know what photosynthesis is. Carbon dioxide, we need carbon dioxide. Can we get that in their heads? We need carbon dioxide. Right, next. So carbon dioxide, or CO2, is a greenhouse gas that is natural and harmless in small quantities. But as levels rise, it can affect productivity and sleep. Well, you know what, friends? I don't need carbon dioxide to go out to whoop whoop for me not to be able to sleep. I'm not sleeping. I haven't slept. I cannot sleep. I cannot sleep. Most commonly produced indoors by the air we exhale. Carbon dioxide levels concentrate indoors with less ventilation. So that's why you got to ventilate. You don't want too much carbon dioxide, but we don't need too little. We need it also to survive. Okay, photosynthesis and carbon dioxide. Right, next, I'm going to be going on to ad hoc topics. I would like to, friends, share with you high vibration topics to help you skim through. Instead of you having to read thousands of books, I'm just going through things very briefly so you can just say, all right, I'll try that, and that. And I forgot to get something else too now from the fridge, a tablet to show you. Now, medical medium. You know that I follow medical medium. Now, the other thing that's keeping me busy, which I'm not doing as thorough as I should, is all my life, friends, I've studied. All my life. From 17 at least, I was reading the financial reviews from 16. 17, I started doing the stock exchange seminar courses. They used to do them in the evenings then. I don't know if they did them in the lunchtime, but I used to get my boyfriend of the time then, Leo, because I didn't have my license. He used to take me to the stock exchange in Melbourne here in the evenings. I can't remember the nights, what nights it was. And he would wait for me and then pick me up and take me home because I was living in Richmond. And I was studying stock exchange courses from 17. All my life I've been reading, you know, all those years, following years, business magazines, economy magazines, newspapers. Even when I was living overseas, I was making sure I was going to the English bookshop in Thessaloniki there in northern Greece, and I would get my weekly newspapers and magazines to find out what's going on in the world, European Union and the rest of it. And then I haven't stopped studying since I came 1996 when I came back to Australia permanently, right, because I was overseas for personal reasons. And 96 I studied the real estate course. I haven't stopped studying. I'm never going to stop studying. It's my character. That's how I am. I like to learn. I like to get on top of everything and know what's going on in the world, right? So I'm doing 3 courses at the moment. I'm doing the medical medium, the healing course. And this is free. Free. It's free. You don't have to pay for it, and you can do it at your own pace. So there's no due dates or anything like that, right? I'm doing Dr. Shiva's Warrior course, leadership course. And I think you can just donate anything from 20, 50, 100 or whatever you want to donate. I believe in Dr. Shiva over in America. So I'm doing his course, and every Tuesday we're doing, he's got Zoom videos, and Thursday nights and every day his videos. I'm doing Dr. Shiva's. Dr. Shiva talks about, you know, medical medium Anthony William talks about health, right? And the pharmaceuticals, the rest. Dr. Shiva talks about everything from health, science, politics, foods, everything he talks about, because that is his qualifications and his background. His grandmother inspired him in India to talk about health and food. And and he's the guy that he invented the email, and he's got a science background. And he talks about how everything in life is a system. Everything, our personal lives, our workplaces, education, politics, everything is a system. And the other course I'm doing is Feng Shui. You know, I follow Joey Yap in Malaysia, Feng Shui. I'm doing relearning Feng Shui because all the Feng Shui I learned here in Australia with the New Age Feng Shuis was incorrect. So, yeah, you don't need crystals, frogs, and the rest of the shit to get wealth. No, you got to get off your ass, educate ourselves, and do something in life. This is just one book. This is about beds. How beds, where we sleep, depending on our birth date, right? How it affects us where we sleep. See, I've got quite a few bedrooms here. We've got 4 bedrooms at least. And it's just me and Philip. So depending if I'm, you know, not sleeping, if I'm reading all night or doing whatever, I'll go into different bedrooms. It's amazing how I feel different sleeping in different bedrooms. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so this is, and for instance, our house is west facing. There's west 1, 2, and 3, depending on the degrees of the compass. And it says which way is good for you to sleep, depending on the house, which way it's facing. So these are my 3 courses that I'm doing. Medical Mediums, Dr. Shiva, and Joey Yap. And I'll try and impart as much information as I have time. Because, like I said, I'm dealing with maintaining this property as a full-time job, and I'm just trying to get on top of everything. The parrots are the priority. Parrots are the priority. Now, so talking about Medical Medium, top 10 healing herbs, whether some of you like teas or not, you can have these foods in your sandwiches, as tea. Nettle. And it's better not to get the tea bags, it's better to get them loose. Nettle is amazing. I've known about this for over 20 years now. It's great for clearing the skin. But this is all free information that Anthony William, Medical Medium, has on his website. It's all free. All of it is free. Calendula, right? Calendula. I'll just go through the list so I don't waste your time. Olive leaf, horsetail, and it's not a horse's tail. Horsetail is also known as shave grass. I didn't know that. Anyway, grows wild throughout the world. It is packed with vitamin C and B complex. Oregano. I get the Greek oregano. I get them from shops who sell Greek products, and I love the Greek oregano. Great source of vitamin A, C, K, B complex, potassium, calcium, iron, magnesium. Is a powerful antiseptic, antibacterial, antiviral. Thyme, Thyme, vitamin A, C, K, B complex, and the rest. Mullein flowers. It's interesting. Mullein flowers, right? Antibacterial, removes phlegm from the lungs. I've got to get Philip onto that because of his snoring. Cilantro, coriander, I've been talking about that, putting it in your juices and all. Okay, but even having it raw, just chopping it up and having it in all your foods, even your sandwich, you just chop it up, put in. I love sandwiches. In fact, I reckon my favourite food, one of my favourite foods is your wholemeal or sliced bread, preferably a nice, baker's loaf. And just put in, organic beetroot, sliced beetroot, lettuce, cucumber. I cut up cilantro or basil. Oat straw is wonderful healing herb that is rich in A, C, E, K, etc. These are all free. I'll put these links up, don't worry. I'll put them up on my posts, okay? So everyone can see them. And meadow sweet is a wild herb, rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, bioflavonoids, natural digestive aid, and pain reliever. Right? So these are all safe herbs to have, friends. You don't need the other shit that messes with your brain and your head and makes you think that you're a guru or that you are the, what's that term? Messiah to save the world. These won't make you think that. These will make you think clearer. Hope you like the music in the background. I've got some jazz, a jazz station from Spain. Let's see what else I've got here now. Okay, so healing the neurological system. Why is that important? Because our whole body is full of nerves, and the feet have got more nerves than any part of the body. So we've got to look after our feet, soak them in magnesium, pamper them, massage them, look after them. So with your partner, just lie on the couch and massage each other's feet, right? If you don't want to do your own, or you can't bend over, you sore back or whatever, okay? So healing your neurological system. All the nerves that go to the brains, that go to the body and all that, if our neurological system isn't at least half healthy, we can't half think. It's all connected to the brain. Everything's connected to the brain, right? I'll put these links up again. I've put them up 100 times, but I'll put them 100 times more. Excuse me, just drinking my lemon balm tea. Elderberries, friends, are the most effective remedies for viral and bacterial infections like colds and flu, blah, blah, blah. Elderberries. Elderberries, right? I'm keeping these here so I can put the links up sometime this afternoon, hopefully. Right, now it's a suppression order. You don't want that. About what's happening in Australia. Now, let's see what else I've got here to show you. The brain. Why I talk about the brain? Because if the brain is not clean and clear and not thinking logically, rationally, empathically and correct, and those of you out there who think you're empaths, I've said this a few times before, an empath is simply someone who's got empathy, and there's different levels of empathy. You can have a low level out of 10, you can be 1, you can be 5, you can be 10. There's different levels of empathy. There's no big deal being an empath. What's happened is the fake fraud new age industry have made it out like if you're an empath, you're something special. So you've got to, walk on eggshells around these people, or that you've got to walk on eggshells. And you're thinking, oh, I've got health issues because I'm sensitive, because I'm an empath. Well, fuck that. We've all got empathy at some level, most of us, right? If you're sensitive, look at what you're eating, look at what you're drinking, look at what you're smoking, look at what's in your environment that could be affecting you. If you're sensitive with people, so am I, so is everyone else. But we get on with it, we soldier on, and we move on, and not be so pathetic and so thing with ourselves as if, oh, I'm sensitive, I can't deal with that. You've come on this planet. We're here to try and get through all the challenges, whether on our own or with other people around us to support us. We are all sensitive, but we just learn to move on. That is not an excuse to sit back in life and to say, well, I can't deal with that. I'll let someone else deal with my shit. No, that's being lazy. It's where the brain is not working right. Okay? So the brain, anatomy and functional areas of the brain. And like I said, now that I've got my second brain, I'm thinking even more clearer. Right? So I'll put this up again also. It's a JPEG that I've copied online. Now, let's see what else. So I'll just put this here for a second. So I should really write down because there's so many things I want to tell you guys. I ordered and I got Medical Medium's book. I got it expensive from Dimex. It's cheaper at Big W, right, in Australia. So I got his newest book. And I want to read out something to you guys. I hope the noise in the background isn't too loud with the children. This is about ADD. I never liked titles that they gave children and people, because when they give titles, instead of the medical profession looking at why a person behaves a certain way, they immediately give you a title so that they can give you the medications for it, right? So of course that makes it worse, doesn't it? Right, so let's see what he says. I'm looking outside at the book is. Let's see what he says for ADD, hyperactivity disorder, and autism. The hidden upsides of ADHD and autism, right? Attention deficit disorder and autism. Right, so it goes beyond fidgeting here and there. It goes beyond not paying attention and occasionally difficulty communicating. It goes beyond that. The traits of attention difficulty, and friends, how many people do you know in your family or in your life who've got attention difficulty? How many? How many of us? Right? This is not someone else's problem. This is in our families. The traits of attention difficulty, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness, being impulsive, are considered ADHD when they're so extreme that a child has difficulty functioning in school, at home, or in other settings. When symptoms go a step beyond ADHD, they fall into the category of autism, also called the autism spectrum disorder or Asperger's. It's common for a child to receive a label, blah, 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 what causes ADHD and autism. A popular misconception is that ADHD and autism are the result of a poor intestinal environment. Some current thinking goes that an overproduction of candida, this is the about what's in the intestines, right, are to blame, blah, 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 blah. This theory is a distraction from what's really at play. Anyone can benefit from cleaning up their gut health, even if they're unaware of how or why. In the case, though, of ADHD and autism, this is the first time I'm reading it, trying to improve the intestinal environment with probiotics and probiotic-rich foods is a good intention. That's peripheral, that is on the side, right? It doesn't address the true underlying cause of ADHD and autism, toxic heavy metals. So you're going to say, well, my kids don't have mercury. And this is not just kids, this is adults. There's so many adults. I reckon 1 in 2 adults have got Asperger's and autism. I deal with a lot of men out there and women, but predominantly men because of all the works I'm getting done here. And I'm telling you, I'd say that at least 80% have got Asperger's, right? And autism. The traits are so obvious. Mercury in our teeth that I grew up with at the Royal Children's Hospital. My mum used to take me to fix up our teeth, my sister, and she thought she was doing the right thing, fillings and the rest of it. This destroyed us, right? So mercury in the teeth. In the 50s, the doctors were telling people to drink mercury as a cough mixture. I don't know how long that went for. All the aluminium foil that you cook with, because I use just baking paper now, that you cook with, you touch it. Just touching it, that goes through the skin. That's a toxic heavy metal. Working in metals, in metal jobs, touching metals, still aluminium, that goes through the skin, through your blood, through the nervous system. So if you think you haven't been exposed to anything, I'd say you're pretty much wrong, because your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and further back, they've been exposed to all these. We don't have to wait for the cadmium and the rest of the chemicals to be sprayed on us from the air, because we've already got all this stuff in our genetics. And on top of that, everything that we do day to day, touching metals and things, right? On top of all that. So it's the toxic heavy metals according to the medical medium, and he goes into more detail of it. I'm not going to waste your time doing it now. You can go through, you don't have to buy his books. It's all free online. You can see how all these metals affect us. And a lot of you know this stuff, right? So this stuff goes to the brain and causes these problems where people are not thinking right. So it's not just children. It's also adults, your Alzheimer's, your dementias, your Parkinson's, all these. It's from poisons. And a lot of the associations, especially the American ones, they'll mention this about poisons to the brain. The Australians don't know, because we don't want to wake up Australians, do we? Right? And healing foods. So diet is the best way, of course, to detox. And I've been talking to you about the celery juice, about the wild blueberries. There's a heavy metal detox smoothie that he has, right? And in it, so celery juice, celery force. It's not celery, it's tablets you can take. Barley grass juice powder. Come on, we all know that's everywhere, barley grass juice. I've shown you this stuff, friends, for a year now. B complex, elderberry syrup, 1 teaspoon daily. GABA. I've got GABA and EPA and DHA. They're capsules, fish free. You don't want fish because fish is full of mercury and the rest of it, right? Golden seal, lemon balm, which I'm drinking, licorice root, which I'm also drinking, magnesium, glycinate, melatonin, mullein leaf, spirulina, vitamin B12, vitamin C, zinc. Now, friends, you're going to say, well, Paris, does that mean that our whole life now we're just going to have healthy foods? I'm not perfect. I'm going to have my potato chips, but I'll try and get the better brand of potato chips. I have chocolate, but I'll have the pan of chocolate. If I don't have the pan of chocolate, I'll get other vegan chocolate, but it's still got sugar in it, right? I found a great organic chocolate I love to drink. It's got sugar in it. I'm going to hope to get close to perfect, but it's step by step. When you know what causes problems with your health, your brain, and if you're planning on having children and the drugs, alcohol, metals, and other stuff that you did or you're doing, don't say, oh, why has my baby got health problems? Because what did you do? What did your parents do? What did your grandparents do of the male and female, right? For the babies to have these problems. It is not karma. It is not karma. Karma means correct action. I'm learning all this stuff from lovely Dr. Shiva, who's of Indian background. And I've always had a connection with Indian people somehow. I think it's because my father was always listening, even though he's of Greek background, he was always listening to Indian music on the radio since I was a little girl. He loved that, that sort of Indianized sort of music, the Bollywood music. I'm in love with it. Karma means correct action. So when a baby is ill, look at what you did. Were you smoking? Were you drinking? Were you doing the rest of it? What was in the sperm? What was in the egg? Don't blame your problems and your baby's problems, your children's problems on, oh, the government did this to us. The government's poisoning us. Because this information has been out here for decades and decades and decades, right? So if you plan to build a house, you're going to get an architect, a project planner to tell you how things are done, right? So if you want to have children, you're planning to have children, you're going to make sure you've got money in the bank. You're going to make sure that you're healthy to have the children. You're going to make sure you have time to look after them, right? You got to plan. If you don't plan and you suffer the consequences of your no planning, that's your choice. That's your decision. That's the choice that you made. Because as far as I can remember, in the education system at school in the 80s, there was planning, there were processes and all that stuff. If you didn't want to adopt those because you just wanted to go out there, sleep with anyone, have a baby so you can hold on to, make sure you can get your monthly payments, the pensions and all that, because that's why a lot of them have kids, right? Because you're getting help from the government. Because I'm telling you now, in countries where the governments do not give handouts to people, they're not having a lot of children. In European countries, they don't have the 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 children because they don't have the government, the tax benefits and the subsidies. Right? Don't look in Africa. It's a different system completely. What's going on in Africa, or what they're doing to women is wrong there. That's another country. All right. So detoxing the brain. And I had a lady a few weeks ago say to me online, because I'm blocking a lot of people. Because, friends, I said from last year, I wanted to meet one person who I can resonate with leadership qualities. Well, I want leadership qualities. I don't have time for bullshit. And I haven't really found many, I'm sorry to say, but there are a few women who I've found who run their own businesses. I don't think there's more, 2 or 3, run their own businesses and run the household. And I find that they're leaders and they're trying to better their health and better their lives. I can't think of many men. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of any. So I wanted to find people, individuals and groups to resonate with. And I haven't found one individual online or one group online, influencers, who I trust. There's not one person in Australia I would trust. I've spoken with a lot of them. I've emailed a lot of them. I've called a lot of them. And not interested. I even called Mickey from the medical political group. No reply. I've contacted a few others, and let's not get to fake funness and all them, because I shouldn't even be mentioning them. They're rubbish. They were all distractors. They are all distractors. I'm not even bothering with MeWe. And what's the other one? And BitChute. BitChute, I've just slashed the notifications. And me, they're a bunch of whingers. It's just a joke for the past 4 or 5 months. It's just unbelievable. So what's happened is Twitter is full left, and full socialists. Facebook is becoming that way too now, right? And the reason why I'm on social media is because I talk about birds, counselling, the rest of it. Anyway, so this lady said to me, Paris, with what you just said, something I said I can't remember, I criticised someone. She goes, you're meant to be an empathy counsellor. There's not much empathy. Well, let me tell you, friends, I might have empathy, but I'm not a fucking idiot. If you're gonna be ignorant or naive or stupid, they're not all the same. Ignorant means when you have the information, right? When you have the information and you go off and you're doing other shit on the side to undo everything you're trying to do, right? Naive is when you don't know what's going on, when you're being silly thinking that the world is perfect, fairyland, and you're thinking, well, oh, it shouldn't be like that. Why did he break my heart? I mean, why did he use me? Why did he just fuck me and use me? And why did he do this? I mean, why is he treating me that way? Hello? In the times of the Kardashian times, haven't the Kardashians taught you anything? I mean, sure, I was saying that in my 20s and 30s, we didn't have internet. We didn't know what was going on in the world. Bob Hawke and the rest of the world and all them Clintons and all that were all hiding all this shit for us that he wanted us to know. But the internet's been around, 20 years now? We know what's going on. You're on Instagram and shit following everyone. You know what's happening. So don't say why, right? So that's naive. And stupid is just someone who just... Really, I'm sorry to say, I mean, the capacity there in the brain is not right. Right? Oh, Belinda. So I don't know much about elderberry. Oh, and I haven't had time to look for it. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Sorry to hear about your son. I'm glad he's better. All right. If you've got time to message me the relax, Kevin. That's Kevin. Belinda, you don't have to. You don't obligated. But if you have time to send me the details of the Danong place for the elderberry syrup, I appreciate it. I'm inundated here. Right, so I couldn't find anyone in Australia to join. See, I don't use words like tribe. If I go in the African jungle or the Amazon jungle, I'll say I'm part of the tribes. Stick my boobs out with my sword and my little nappy, and I'll say I'm part of a tribe. I'm not in a tribe in Australia. I'm looking for like-minded group members. No, I don't use that type of bullshit. And I'm not your sister, your brother, and that, hey sister, hey brother. What talk is that? Seriously? 2021? And we're talking like we're hippies smoking dope? I mean, that's how they used to talk then. Right? Hey, brother, hey, sister, have you got another gram? Come on, we moved on from this shit. Well, I was never in part of that shit, but anyway. So I've been looking for like-minded people. And the past year and a half, I've been checking a lot of people out there online. And the only ones at the moment that I resonate with and who I trust and I believe, because I was saying this stuff even before I heard them saying it, is Dr. Shiva in America, the Indian guy. I love what he says. So far, he hasn't said anything to piss me off. Other than occasionally he'll mention that he'll mention it in some of his talks with health. I haven't heard him say it more than a couple of times. That's the only thing, right? Because I don't need animals, right? I don't eat souls. But everything that he's saying, teaching us about processes of politics. Because if you don't know yet that all of governments are all the same and they're just all theatrics, and this includes the Trumpers. You see, I trusted Trump. I thought he was going to do something good, yeah, because when you have hope, you want to have hope in people, right? And things were getting hot and heavy last year. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking politics. And I thought, well, we've got to believe in someone. We've got to trust in someone. I thought, well, all the other ones are all idiots, right? Trump has got to be a bit different. And then I started seeing Melania's eyes. And they were getting slantier and slantier each time I saw them. And I said, no, it's not them. It's not them. These are actors. This isn't right. And I realised 2 weeks before the November US elections, I go, no, it's not right. Especially when Sky News started to support Trump, I said something's really not right. To go against him, sorry. They went against him because they should be with him. They were with him and then they went against him. Anyway, so Shiva talks about the processes. Everything is a system, friends. Everything. It's unbelievable. He's teaching us engineering. He's teaching us, what does he call it? Not engineering. systems engineering and stuff is teaching us this, what takes people years to learn in just a couple of hours each week. We learn this stuff. So how a system works, the input, output, the transport, the, what do you call it? The, oh, can't remember now the word. Anyway, I'm going to put all these links up on my page, friends, if you want to have a look. But those of you who are still following Trump, still following these online messiahs and influencers, I know who you are. I can hear it all. I hear it all. And I don't just imagine things. Well, you know I don't. Those of you who have done clairvoyant readings for, you know I don't. You know that I'm spot on with everything I say and I hear. You are far right. You are all in bed with the government. You are all pretending to be independent people out there in the community. Oh, let's start an upheaval. Right? You are all liars. And it's all going to come out. It's all going to come out. The problem is, like Shiva says, Dr. Shiva says, is that until we wait for you to all acknowledge and see what's in front of you, black and white, that all these groups are all liars, all of them in Australia, even the individuals in the groups, that they're not really genuine, till you see that it's too late. It's too late. So, and he used other words also, Shiva, the brutal truth. And I thought, yeah, that's me, the brutal truth. Why am I speaking? I don't know why I'm speaking. I'm speaking, I've said it before. I'm just checking the birds. One person, if I can reach out to help with health issues, with mental, physical health issues, with learning about something, one person on this fucking planet, one person will make me happy. And like I said, I've met a couple of women out there who are leaders, even women who are not running their businesses, who are single mums, single parents still looking after adult kids, who are in difficult situations. I consider you leaders, because the hardest thing is to be a single parent as a woman. As a woman, it's the hardest thing. It's the absolute hardest thing, because it is a woman's world. It is not a man's world. Because all these men are up there who are in power, it's because there's women behind them in their ears telling them what to do. Because this is bullshit that women aren't equal. This is bullshit. Because you find a lot of women earn more money than men out there in different vocations. If you sleep with the right people, marry the right people, right? Because the same with men, right? Prince Philip married the Queen and is living the life that he did, right? It's the same thing. Doesn't matter who you are. If you sleep with the right person, marry the right person, know the right contacts, you'll get your payment up there. You'll live equally. You have your negotiation skills and ask for what you want. This is bullshit that it's a man's world. Because look at how many women have been up there in senior positions in politics, in corporations and all that. And what happens is what women do. I'll tell you what women do. They don't want other women. They are threatened by other women to be powerful, because they just want a few women out there to be up the top in powerful positions. Because if you give people like me and others confidence and a go in life to succeed, it's going to be more competition for them, isn't it? We'll be able to show what frauds they are. They're not as smart as me or as other women. This is what they're doing. It's women who are keeping women down, not men. It is women who are keeping women at high positions. I've worked with them. I've worked with them in senior positions. I know. It's women keeping women down. It is our mothers who are breaking our spirits. It is our grandmothers who are breaking our spirits. Right? It's the women in our lives. You don't have to go far. Just look at the women in our lives, what they're doing to us. So next time your daughter speaks shit to you, speaks to you like shit, maybe it's because you've been speaking that way also to her, or treated her that way, which is why she's treating you that way. Or maybe you just spoiled the shit out of her and she says, I don't give a fuck about my mother. Right? So this is the new book, Medical Medium. Now, I'll be going through it and see what's new, and I'll be sharing stuff with you. Friends, every day I'm talking to you guys telepathically, right? Every day. So if it ever crosses your mind that you think of me, don't be surprised that I'm thinking of you guys also. Like I said, like what time is it now? And the day is earlier. And I'm starting to clean and maintain the birds from 4 o'clock. See, it's almost 4 o'clock, whereas before I used to do it at 7, 8, because I used to sleep at 9:30, 10. Why am I here? Because I want to give you guys information that Australians are not talking about, that you may not hear about because of what's going on in your life. That you think, well, it's not the trend in Australia to follow Dr. Shiva, so why should I? Right? Because everything is branding and marketing. See, if I branded myself the right way the others got paid to do from the political parties, I'd be somewhere else too. I don't have time for that. I've studied marketing, I worked in marketing, PR, and all these things. I don't have time for that. My focus in life is to save birds. That is my focus, because the birds were there for me when no one else was. No one else. And they're still here for me. Right? So my focus is to educate people about how to care for birds properly. And one of the ways to do that is for the brain to think clearly. Right? If you're thinking clearly, you develop empathy, higher empathy, better empathy, and you say, that bird doesn't belong in a cage. I'm here, it's very hot, it's my hormones. Well, not just my hormones, it's the stress and running around and that. My role here is to help you guys to better your lives, not just physically, but emotionally. I don't know everything. And I said from the start, everything I share with you is from my personal experiences and my professional personal experiences. Everything I tell you, absolutely everything. I don't have the backing of the Liberal and Labor Party funding me the way all these other groups that you are watching and following have. They have teams behind them that do the admin, computers, the rest of it. I do everything. I do my own websites. I do everything. I do everything. And it is impossible for me. Like, I'm in bed and I'm thinking of all the work that needs to be done. Right? It is impossible for me. I was always like this. I was born like this, to constantly do things. Right? Constantly do things. But I was not going to sell my soul to a rich guy or to rich people or to brotherhoods and groups to get where I know I could get. Right? I wanted to do things differently in life. Anyway, I'm just trying to share things with you guys that can help you. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? I'm just trying to do that. So when I talk about not hurting people, right? If people are sensitive, respect that, but not if they're manipulating you with that. That's what I should have said earlier. There are people who say I'm too sensitive. I'm even more sensitive than what you can imagine. I'm so sensitive you have no idea. No idea. Well, of course I am. Right? I mean, I've got to be also with the clairvoyance, cognizance, and the rest of it. Right? I've got to have that sensitivity. But emotionally, I'm sensitive. See, most clairvoyants out there are not sensitive emotionally. Just because you're a psychic clairvoyant doesn't mean that you're empathic, that you got empathy. No, no. And a medium is someone who sees spirits. You can be evil, and you can be a clairvoyant and a psychic. Doesn't mean they're good people. I've worked with a lot of them, and I know they're not good people, and they have no empathy at all. Because if they did, they wouldn't be ripping people off and treating people the way they do. Okay? So don't think that someone is in the spiritual area, works in the spiritual area, that they're good people. Yes, I'll be talking about a lot of stuff like this against the New Age because I've worked in them and I know how frauds they all are. Mark Passio in America, like I've mentioned a few times, he exposes the New Age industry slowly, and even he doesn't have a lot of time. He doesn't have the number of parrots I do. Now, Dr. Shiva also today was talking about, I should have made notes, I've got some notes. He was talking about, I'm going to do another video, and I'll be summarizing what Dr. Shiva talks about, but please join him if you can. I mean, if you can't watch him live on Tuesday, it's Monday nights in America, Tuesday morning, it's 3 hours in, I've got the video going while I'm running backwards and forwards. You can always watch the replays. But I'll be doing videos going through the main points so I can share with you guys, also to remind you of what's happening in our bodies, in the processes and systems out there. And he was talking about how the yoga of today is bullshit. I know it is. I tried it once, it was enough. Have you noticed how the people who do yoga Every time I've been around people who do yoga, and I've walked in yoga studios, like, what's the matter with them? They're so serious. But they think that they're gurus or something. I don't get it. They're not doing the yoga right. They're not teaching the yoga. The teachings are not correct of yoga, right? So he mentioned that today, and I trust him because he's Indian, and it's where yoga came from, right? He was talking about Indian medicine, the Ayurvedic medicine, and I asked him, what's the difference in Chinese and the Indian? It's very, very similar. The Chinese has got the wind, water, wood, metal, fire, earth, 5 elements, and they apply to our body as well. So I'm just trying to teach you guys things, just trying to share stuff with you. And at the same time, you guys can also tell me stuff also. This is what I'm trying to do. But there's no way in hell, no way in freaking hell. I don't care what you guys tell me, try and intimidate me about your bullshit Trump supporting, your bullshit this, your bullshit that. When people say, like they said to me before in a message, Facebook message, Paris, that's your opinion, you can have your opinion, you can't, you can't say anything to others, about their opinions. Well, let me tell you something, and I won't say the word bimbo, is it's every fucking my business what your opinion is. Because your opinion to do with the environment, animals, people, health, and politics is going to impact on my life and my parents' lives and my friends' lives. So yes, your opinion, if it's skewed, because it is skewed when you talk like that, right? Of course, this is the problem, and this is where they intimidate us, friends. Do not let your family and friends intimidate you. If they say, if you're going along the correct path of truth, freedom, and health, like Shiva calls it, right? High vibrations, the rest of it. And you got family and friends saying, well, you know what? If you want to, example, rip the trees out of the ground for no reason, right? Because we need the carbon dioxide and the oxygen from the trees for no reason, and you step in and you say, no, trees is not bothering anyone. Why are you killing it? And they say, well, it's my house, it's my business, I can do what I want. You can say, yes, it is your house, your business, but we need the carbon dioxide and the oxygen from the tree, right? Because we all start doing that, what's going to happen to this planet? We're going to look like Mars. So if you do something that impacts on my life and the environment around me, yes, I will speak up. Do not let anyone intimidate you. And I have no problems people arguing or debating with me. It's how you do it. And I've blocked a lot of people, and I'll keep blocking. I've blocked people who I've had great friendships with. A lot of you are this close to me blocking you. Because if you want to argue with me and debate with me, do it nicely, right? Don't do it in a way that is not mature and in a mature way. I am conservative. I'm very cheeky. I'm funny. I'm serious, and I'm very conservative. Do not do things if you say things like that, I block you instantly. And you can keep sending me texts and saying, why did I block you, blah, blah. I just keep blocking your phone too. Because I know who I am. I know who I am. And I have spilt out my personal life. Well, not all of it. Most of it I haven't had time to tell you everything that's going on. And I've shown you so much of my life, raw, of what I look like raw, who I am raw, and my life, for no money, no reason other, I've said from the start, is for you guys to try and trust me, to know who I am, to know who I am, what I do in life. So that when shit hits the fan, which is happening right now, and a lot of you can't see it because you're holidaying, you're socialising, you're lunching, you're dinnering, you're doing the rest. After what we went through in Victoria last year, most of you just went back to the same shit, same stuff. You didn't do anything different. See? Mate, but there's people like me, because there's a lot of us, doing Dr. Shiva's course. We want to move on. We're not going back to the same shit. We're not, because, we saw what happened last year. We're meant to be progressing, but a lot of you just gone back to your normal life. What are you doing? We're going to have another lockdown again, and then you'll be complaining. See you later, alligator. Not interested. I'm interested in people who want to better their lives as much as possible, and it is so hard, because we all have problems in our relationships. We all have problems in our families. We all have problems with our health, whether you want to admit it or not, or know it or not. We all have these problems. We've all got financial issues. We've all got confusion. We've all got emotional issues, all of us. So if the first lockdown screwed you and upset you, what's going to happen the next one that's coming along? In fact, they may not even do a lockdown with us. What they're going to do is they're going to completely shut down businesses. I mean, a lot of businesses shut down as it is, right? They're going to take away our livelihood. So what's going to be happening is that we're all going to become employees of these international students that are going to start coming into the country, because that's what's happening. I said to you, do not trust Craig Kelly. It is clear on the internet. I mean, look at his articles. He's pro-trade with Asia. And what did all you guys do? You trusted Craig Kelly and you trusted Reignite Democracy. I told you, they're Jewish Zionists. The Reignite Democracy are Jewish Zionists. They are fronts for the far right. I mean, if you can't see it, I mean, they're saying it to you. They're showing it to you. Look at their faces. Look at their names. Look what they talk about. They are supporting Craig Kelly. Look who Craig Kelly is, what he does. Did you see Jonas when he was at one of the recent protests some months ago? He was, hey, mate, he was saying to the cops. And then another one, Monica said, hey, to the panel van as it was driving away, where are you going? They're mates with the police. Weren't we all complaining about the police that were causing so much strife and problems to Victorians last year? That was all acting. It was all bullshit. Because they want to instill fear in us. I have never had fear all my life. I have gone through very, very, very challenging and terrible situations in my life, personal and professionally, horrible situations in my life, gun to your head, and even then, I still don't have fucking fear. Because I'm a solutions person, I'm a systems person, and this is why I like Dr. Shiva. Because he is all about solutions and teaching me and others how systems are applied to everything, how things work, what they're doing to us, how they're brainwashing us, how. I'm not interested in these videos that have been around for over 50 years, that people have written about before the computer came. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested. Why waste your time and energy watching this shit? Because they are putting fear into your auras, fear into your head. So when you lay down every night, you got fear, 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 fear. When I lay down in bed every night, I've got solutions. It's a big difference. Because when you got fear, your health crashes. When you got fear, you can't think clear. It's an obstacle. Fear, insecurity. Whereas when you're thinking, hey, I've got to survive, I've got to work, I'm going to do something in life to support my children, my family, my animals, or whatever, or myself. If you're single, right? You think clearer. And this is why I'm talking about the brain, clearing the brain. And friends, don't go doing bullshit jobs. Don't go selling drugs. Don't go selling all this bullshit stuff that is all out there, because you're just fooling other people. I mean, seriously, friends, you know how many, I could have been a multi-millionaire with all the things that I know about your feng shui, your new age and all that. I could have, friends. I could have, and I just would have put in the aviaries. I cannot live with myself knowing that I'm ripping all you guys off with bullshit. That's why I left the feng shui industry years ago after I was a consultant, because customers would come in the store or I'd do consults, and they'd think that crystals and frogs, crystals will bring in relationships, rose quartz. I use it as my, can you see it in the background, as paperweights? Well, that frogs will bring in money and mandarin ducks will bring in relationships. I'm thinking, this is absurd. How can people think that? I was working and volunteering fucking 18, 20 hours a day in order to survive and do stuff. And people think that with items that you get wealthy. No, you got to think smart. You got to think clear. You do not have to do toxic things in life to survive. We don't need to do that. You don't need to do toxic things in life to survive. You don't have to rip off the way I've been ripped off constantly. They haven't stopped ripping me off for years now. For years, and it's ongoing now. I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on. Everyone is ripping off everyone. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible what's going on. Absolutely terrible. I've always thought, and I've wanted to send invoices to people who rip me off, because they're wasting my time and everything. This is why I'm here, friends, just to talk about this stuff. I don't mean to bust your balls over things. Sometimes if I get a bit, sort of over or whatever, it's just my Scorpio in me and the Greek thing. So I've got Dr. Shiva's file here. I make notes. Please join it, friends. Please. I will put the posts up. Please do. because it's going to raise your confidence. It's going to raise your confidence. And you know, I listen to the media every freaking day. 3 in the morning and Sky News at night. And I listen up until I can, because it gets to the point where I think, oh, my brain's going to fry. Right? I'm getting information. I'm filtering. You filter. You filter. You know how like men, when the wives are always nagging, how men filter? You know, selective hearing it's called. Selective hearing. The men just want to hear what they want to hear. You do the same with the media. You just listen to what you want to listen. You just grab the information you want to grab to listen. They are telling us everything that's going on. And this is why the online groups do not want you to listen to media, because you will not be prepared with what is going on. I'm not saying that they're being honest about, you know, the real heavenly truth, but neither are the online groups. They just wanted you to listen to them, to follow them, and so they could get your money, your donations. How are we going to save the world printing t-shirts, printing caps and that? What a lot of shit. We don't need a leader. You need to be a leader with yourself. First with yourself, an ethical, humane leader. Then you discuss these things with your partner and your family and your friends, and all that spreads. And before you know it, we've taken over the world. Before you know it, we've taken over the world. We've wasted a whole year. Now, what have you got here? Let's have a look. Craig Kelly got booted from Facebook. Belinda, darling, this is all bullshit. They're just giving themselves a holiday. Do not believe, please. This is what I'm trying to tell you all. This happened last year. And Dr. Shiva got booted off Twitter, and I got a warning and everything. They do this as a lie to have an uproar from people. Oh, Craig Kelly got booted from Facebook. Oh, he must be saying something right. Do you understand? This is all bullshit. This is all theatrics. Please, friends, please. Do not care what others are doing. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing. We cannot rely on anyone on this planet to save us. We've got to save ourselves. Now, I'm not religious, but isn't there a saying that says, God helps those who help themselves? And these messiahs online are unbelievable. These smoke doping messiahs who think that they're messengers of God. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Facebook is really become an absolute mess. And you know, friends, of all the people I deal with, not even 10% are on social media. You know why? You know why? You know what they tell me? Because they tell me we don't have time to waste, because they're all busy working, making money, and planning and looking after their babies, their kids, and their families. They haven't got time to be on social media to do these things. They haven't got time. You know? Hi, Mary, how are you? They haven't had time. They haven't got time to be on social media. Even, you know, family members, you know, and whatever. I was asking my stepson. I said, Daniel, I said, are you on social media? He runs his unbelievable boy running a building company. He said, Paris, I don't have time to waste on that. They don't have time. There's a reason why people are on social media, you know, to share with family and friends. My reason, I've told you, is to share stuff about birds. I started doing these things for over 10 years now. Social media, it's not just a 1 or 2 or 3 year thing. So to educate people about birds and to save birds, and my counselling work, to help people through my counselling work. And what else was it? And my counselling incorporates, you know, the feng shui and the rest of it and whatever. I had reasons because of a business. So all these other people who as if came from somewhere and want to start where are the protests? I said last year when they stopped the lockdown in December, Victoria, I was saying all the time, we should be having protests every day in every suburb in Victoria and Australia. Where were the protests? They weren't doing this stuff. It is all politically driven. They are all the same. Please, friends, trust me. Trust me. I'm telling you here, focus on yourself. Focus on yourself and care for the environment and animals and people around you. People who care about you and respect you, right? I'm not telling you to do something that is not in your benefit, am I? I'm telling you to care about yourselves. I'm trying to get you guys to look after your health, your family's health, because that way you'll be able to think clearer, and we'll be able to raise vibrations, and we'll be able to do bigger and better things for this planet. I'm not telling you to go out there and, you know, support this person, support that person. I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you to even support me. I haven't got anything. I haven't started a political party. I wanted for years to start a political party because the Animal Justice Party is a fraud. Right? We all know that it's just a union party for the Labor Party. We know that. Right? A lot of us know it. That's why we left the party. I was a policy writer. I write policies. I've got all my policies here. I've still got it here because I've got to put the policies on my website. I've got, what have I got here? I've got a policy. See, AJP? I've got it in front of me here. I've got to put on the website. So I was doing policies for native birds because the others didn't give a shit for native birds. I did a policy for pet birds and for something else I can't remember now. Right? I've dealt with all these groups, all these people. They're all just money grabbers. Nothing's happened in animal welfare and animal rights, nothing. Same with Voiceless, run by the Jewish people. Where's all the money going to? Why are half the family living over in Israel? I mean, come on. I mean, really, do you have to have even half a brain to know these things? Please, friends, please. I'm just trying to get you guys to think clear for yourselves. You want to make money, you want to watch my shirt here. You want to make money, you want to live well, do something ethical. There's plenty of things out there that we can still barter with one another. Bartering is a good thing too, right? Barter is when you exchange goods and services with someone. So you may say to me, yeah, I know these things. It's all an act. Darling Belinda, it's all to distract us. I knew it from the start. I knew this guy from the start. This is all to distract us and waste our time. Look, it's May. Where are we? Nowhere. This is all a distraction. This is what I've been saying for many months. Please, if you listen to Dr. Shiva, he says all these things. Maybe you'll trust him more because, one, anyone with a penis has got more respect than anyone with a vagina. That's how it is. You know how it is in this patriarchal world, right? Even though it's run by women. Right? And also because he's a scientist, maybe you'll trust him more because I haven't flaunted my certificates. Whereas fake Thanos flaunted his Toastmasters he does presentation certificate, and you're fucking followed a dickhead like that? Seriously? Oh, I'm a Toastmaster. I got a certificate because I did a good presentation. Have you seen my certificates? Anyone bothered to look at what my qualifications are? No, because I haven't got a penis. That's how it works, you see? That's how it works. There's always going to be a penis behind a female. Always. Always. Well, not in that sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the picture, otherwise you won't trust anyone. This is the problem. Women aren't trusting women. This is the problem. I'll put Dr. Shiva's links up. Look at what he says. It's all free. Look at his website. Right? You'll even see his free analyzing your body. There's a what do you call it? There's a formula up there where you can see. I didn't listen to it. I did it last year in 20. If I listened, I'd be better off. Your body, your system. It's free. You go on, you jump on, there's questions, you answer them, and it says what kind of body, what kind of system, because a body is a system. So I did this I printed it today, but I did it over a year ago. I did it a year ago. But I was distracted by the distractors online, and I didn't focus on this. Remember, I was saying that I was putting on weight, and I shouldn't be putting on weight. What's going on? Well, friends, I've lost a lot of weight. I'm losing a lot, but if I stop the sugar, I'd be down to size 10 now. So what happened, just in case you can relate to this, is I remember specifically December 2014, for at least 4 years, I could not be out in the sun. I was allergic to the sun. I'd go out. I never wore tank tops. I had to always wear long sleeve and big hats. I was getting hives, horrible, terrible skin hives, so painful you just want to die. I remember telling the bimbo at Frankston Hospital in emergency, I said, just kill me. Just kill me when I went in. When I had a terrible episode of the hives, I said, I can't handle this. Right? So from 2010 to 2014, I couldn't be in the sun. So my body wasn't getting any heat. Right? Body wasn't getting heat. And I was walking barefoot on tiles. Look at where I'm getting. So my body is cold. It's not getting the sun. It's not getting heat. Then December 2014, I remember specifically, I suddenly had this addiction to orange juice. The bought one, not the homemade one. So the bought one, of course, has got the sugar in it. So I would be drinking even like half a bottle a day. Cold. Right? I started drinking water cold, my filtered water cold. Right? My water that I had here. Cold. Everything cold. So no warmth in the body, cold, cold, cold. Everything cold. salads, cold, everything. So when I went to, I had a feng shui consultation a couple of months ago, and he said, look, you got to go to Chinese medicine. And I've been to Chinese medicine and spent thousands and nothing worked. I went to Anglo Chinese medicine guy and the Chinese ones who don't speak English. I'm thinking, what the fuck are they thinking or talking about? And when I went to this chick over a month ago, it's been now 6 weeks, she said, Paris, you got a lot of dampness. You got to get rid of the dampness in your body, right? So as soon as I came home that Friday night and I stopped my cold water, because every day I'm drinking a lot of water, cold. The next 2 days, I must have lost 3 kilos on the weekend. Easy. In 2 weeks, my weight was dropping like it's not funny. Well, it hasn't dropped. The Chinese herbs haven't helped me yet. I've been taking the Chinese herbs. They haven't helped. Not at all. But me stopping these cold foods helped. And Dr. Shiva said it to me a year ago. And I didn't listen because I was distracted. He says here, what to eat, what to drink, that I need more warmth. Dress warmly. Wear garments that keep you feeling comfortable. I'm always outdoors in winter, cold, freezing cold, right? I'm cold. Get as much natural sunshine as you can and open your shades during the day, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't out in the sun for 4 years. Do 20 minutes of any warm-up exercise while I'm running around with your birds here. Insulate your home. Yeah, I've got that. Create a warm, loving home that is not nurturing in a real earth, and it's been up and down with Philip. You know how it is with Irish guys. Older Irish guys, not easy. Right? Enjoy warm fires. I didn't have time to sit next to fires because I'm always working and busy and whatever. All about warm. And when I go to my Chinese medicine lady, she's got a heat lamp. And I lay down on the massage table there. And she puts a heat lamp on me while I'm waiting for the herbs. And I just want to cry. Because the heat on my stomach, it's like it's bringing this type of love to me. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I can't explain the feeling. Can't explain the feeling. But all my life I've been a nudist sunbather. I've been in the sun, sunbaking and stuff. I didn't do it for years. So my body, when I started drinking all this cold stuff and no sun, right, completely went, whoops, what's going on here? Because from 14, I've been in the sun, even from younger, sunbaking, heat, because that's what my body needs. I knew I needed that because I love it. I love sunbaking. When I was doing my counselling diploma, I was doing it while I was sunbathing, right, when I was doing my assignments and that. So I had no sun, no heat for at least 4 years, and cold foods from 2014 at least till just over a month ago. So these things caused havoc in my body and possibly yours and made me put on weight because I'm thinking it's not something going on here. Something's not right with my body, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because you can do this, your body, your system on Dr. She. It's free. It's free. You can do it too. And I'll put these links up on my profile page, not in the comment section, right, on my profile page, so that I can reach others also, right? Thank you for listening. I've kept you really long, like I said. Oh, and don't forget, Dr. Shiva also talks about black cumin oil or seeds. And Medical Media mentions the cumin too. But apparently black cumin oil or the seeds is unbelievable for you. So I'm looking for that too. And maybe Belinda, where this lady where you got your elderberry from has also got cumin. I'm very, very fussy where I get things from. They've got to be clean. If they're organic, it's even better. So I'm going to put these links up to share with you all so that you can better your life, your health. And like Dr. Shiva says, without health, we don't have freedom, because it's not just a slogan, it's also a system. It's truth, freedom, and health. Because without truth, without information, we don't have freedom. And without freedom, we don't have health. Well, without health, we don't have freedom. It's actually a triangle. If you don't have health, trust me, friends, I've been in a terrible situation with health from 2006 at least. Right? The health issues were creeping up from when I was 20. They were creeping up. But when you're in your 20s and your 30s and even your early 40s, you think, nothing's going to bother me. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm running around now. I'm doing a million things at once. It's going to hit you. It's going to hit you. going to hit you. I wish I had someone all my life who was a bit older than me who could sit down and say, now, Paris, eat that, drink that, look after your health, who could give me some kind of advice and mentor me in my life. Just like the super wealthy and the super successful do, they've all got mentors. Everyone has got a mentor. All CEOs have mentors. All senior execs have got mentors. Everyone has a mentor. No one. They all have their dietitians, their private chefs, their exercise gurus, their life gurus, their mentors. All of them. All of them. And they just have us as their little slaves running around, scrambling around like rats because we don't know where we're going and what's going on. We're in a mess. Blended families, 10 kids here and there. Our life is an absolute mess, isn't it? It is. So let's try and eat well so we can think well, so we can better our life and this planet. What do you reckon? There's nothing wrong with that, is it? Listen, watch, and read stuff. The media and the online's no different. It's the same shit. Just 5 minutes of it. Look at what's going on. Look at what they're doing. Look what the Kingston primary school, was it a primary school, high school, did here in Victoria. What they did to the kids to make them feel ashamed that they were white. You don't listen to these things. How do you know what's going on? Go straight to the horse's mouth. Straight to the facts. Right? You don't need me or others to tell you. If you listen to the media, you can hear it yourself. I'm here to raise your vibrations. I'm here to make you feel better about yourselves, but not at the expense of stepping onto others. No, if you're going to be a bitch and a bastard like that, I've got no empathy for you. I've got no time for you. I just block you and I just call out that what you're doing is so wrong. So maybe I'm empathy police. I don't like that word police. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for spending your time with me because you've got better things to do. You've got better things to do than listen to me, like drinking a great cup of herbal tea, cooking now for yourself or for your partner. You've got better things to do than to listen to me. Thank you anyway. I'm sending you all love and high vibrations. I don't know when I can talk to you next because I've got a lot going on. I've got to change my clothes now and run out because it's getting a bit windy and cold out there. I love you all, and there is a way out of this, but we've got to be real. We've got to be brutally honest. I'm not tiptoeing around this, friends. If you want to tiptoe, go to all the fraudsters. Go to the new age fraudsters. I'm not tiptoeing. There is serious shit going on at the moment, right now. Right now, and it's been happening for many, many years. The governments and the establishment tested the waters last year and they saw that if we put people through the shit that we put them through last year, and now they're still normal, going back to their normal lives, they're dumber than what we thought. That's what they're thinking of us all. Because we are dumber than what they thought. Because we should have taken a completely different strategy after last year. We should have been in control now, but we will never be in control when people are still looking after their own backyards. We've got to support one another and look after one another. That's the only way to do it, friends. It's the only way. You're not the only one who's busy, who's working, who's got shit to do in life. We all do. How about we help one another? How about we support one another, eh? How about that? Because no one is perfect and no one knows everything. Even I cry. Even I have down days every day. Every day. Thank you, friends, for being here with me. I love you all. Have a great evening in Melbourne, wherever you are in the world. See you later. Bye. Oh, it's after 4.